Listen, what I'm going to say today will shock you. It will disturb you. It will challenge everything your society has taught you, everything your religion has conditioned you to believe, everything your culture has branded into your consciousness since childhood. Sex is a doorway to silence, not sin, not shame, not something to be hidden, suppressed, controlled, or transcended, but a doorway, a sacred doorway, a portal to the deepest meditation, to the highest consciousness, to the most profound silence you can ever know. Your face is already changing. I can see it. Some of you are uncomfortable. Some of you are curious. Some of you are aroused. Some of you are angry. Good. All of these reactions show that I have touched something deep, something raw, something that your society has covered with layers and layers of conditioning. Sex is the most natural thing in existence. More natural than breathing, because breathing you learn after birth. But sex, the energy of sex, is why you were born at all. Sex created you. Sex is the creative force of the universe expressing itself through biology. Sex is God's way of continuing creation. Sex is existence saying yes to itself again and again and again. But look at what your culture has done to this beautiful, natural, creative energy. Your religions have called it sin. Your churches have filled you with guilt about it. Your parents could not even speak the word to you. Your schools taught you biology, but never taught you the art of love. Your society has twisted sex into pornography on one extreme and Puritanism on the other, and both are diseases, both are perversions, both are ways of avoiding the truth. The truth is simple, but you are too conditioned to see it. Sex is energy, pure energy, life energy, creative energy, the same energy that makes a flower bloom, that makes a bird sing, that makes a river flow, that makes your heart beat. This energy, when it rises in you as sexual desire, is not your enemy. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is not evidence of your spiritual failure. It is life itself knocking at your door, asking to be lived, asking to be celebrated, asking to be transformed. And transformation is the key word, not suppression, not indulgence, but transformation. Sex can remain just biology, mechanical, repetitive, ultimately boring, or sex can become a doorway to something far beyond biology, a doorway to meditation, a doorway to silence, a doorway to the sacred. But your religions never taught you this. They were afraid of the power of sexual energy, afraid that if people discovered the connection between sex and spirituality, the priests would lose their control. Because a person who has experienced the divine through sex has no need for priests, no need for churches, no need for intermediaries between themselves and existence. So they created the split, body versus soul, flesh versus spirit, earth versus heaven, sex versus God. And they told you that you must choose. You must reject the body to attain the spirit. You must suppress sex to find God. You must become celibate to become holy. This is one of the greatest lies ever told. And this lie has created millions of people who are neurotic, repressed, twisted, sick, people who are at war with themselves, people who hate their own bodies, people who feel guilty for the most natural desires, people who are split, fragmented, schizophrenic. I am here to tell you a different truth. You do not need to choose between sex and spirituality. You do not need to suppress your body to elevate your soul. You do not need to become sexless to become spiritual. In fact, the opposite is true. Let me explain to you what sexual energy actually is. Not what your pornography shows you, not what your romance novels tell you, not what your churches condemn, but what it truly is. Sexual energy is the energy of creation itself. When a man and woman make love and a child is born, what has happened? Two cells have merged, and from that merging, a new human being emerges, a new consciousness, a new body, a new life. This is the ultimate miracle. This is creation happening through you. But the same energy that can create a new life outside of you can also create a new life inside of you. This same energy that can give birth to a child can give birth to a new consciousness in you. This same creative force that flows downward and outward to create new bodies can flow upward and inward to create new being. This is what the ancient Tantric masters discovered. This is what the Taoist sages knew. This is what the mystics of all traditions experienced but could rarely speak about, because their societies were not ready to hear. Sexual energy is not just for reproduction. It is not just for pleasure. It is the raw material for transformation. It is the fuel for the journey from sex to superconsciousness, from biology to divinity, from the animal to the ultimate. Think about it. Why is sexual energy so powerful? Why does it drive you so strongly? Why does it consume your thoughts, dominate your dreams, motivate so much of your behavior? Because it is the most concentrated form of life energy you have. It is the most potent force in your being. And look at what happens to this energy in an ordinary person. In the morning, they wake up and the energy is there. Sexual thoughts, sexual fantasies, sexual desire. They suppress it, push it down, feel guilty about it, or they indulge it. Mechanical masturbation, pornography, quick release. And then the energy is gone, wasted, dissipated, thrown away. Or they are in a relationship, the same partner for years, the same routine, the same positions, the same mechanical movement toward orgasm. No consciousness, no presence, no awareness, just biological release, just scratching an itch. And they call this lovemaking. But there is no love in it. There is no making anything. It is just discharging energy to get relief. This is the tragedy. You are sitting on a gold mine and using it to buy cheap trinkets. You have rocket fuel and you are using it to heat your coffee. You have the energy that can take you to the stars and you are using it for 2 minutes of release and then sleep. But it does not have to be this way. Sex can be transformed. Sex can become meditation. Sex can become a doorway to the deepest silence you have ever known. But this requires understanding. This requires awareness. This requires a completely different approach. The ordinary approach to sex is goal-oriented. You want orgasm. You want release. You want relief. So you use your partner as a means to an end. You are not really with them. You are using them to get somewhere, to reach a peak, to have a climax. And then it is over, finished. The energy is gone. And a few hours or days later, the energy builds again, and the whole cycle repeats. This is horizontal sex. Sex that goes nowhere except in circles. Sex that ultimately leads to boredom, to frustration, to a sense that something is missing. Because something is missing. the vertical dimension, the dimension of depth, the dimension of consciousness. Vertical sex is completely different. In vertical sex, there is no goal. Orgasm is not the point. Release is not the purpose. The purpose is presence. The purpose is to be totally here, totally now, totally in this moment, with this person, with this energy, with this meeting of two beings. Understand this carefully. When two people make love in the ordinary way, what is actually happening? Two people are using each other's bodies to release tension. They are thinking about orgasm. They are focusing on genital stimulation. They are breathing shallowly, tensing their muscles, rushing toward a goal. And their minds are full of thoughts, fantasies, images, perhaps even thinking about someone else. This is not lovemaking. This is mutual masturbation. This is using another person's body the way you would use your own hand. There is no meeting, there is no communion, there is no love, there is only mutual exploitation, even if consensual. But imagine a different possibility. Two people come together not with tension to release, but with presence to share. They are not in a hurry. They have nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. They simply want to be together, to merge, to disappear into each other. They begin by looking into each other's eyes, really looking. Not glancing and then looking away in embarrassment, but gazing deeply, intimately, vulnerably. Looking into the eyes is looking into the soul. It creates a bridge. It creates connection. It breaks down the walls of separation. Already, just from this eye contact, something shifts. The breathing deepens. The mind slows. The energy begins to move differently. Not rushing toward the genitals, but spreading throughout the whole body. Not concentrated in one point, but flowing like a river through every cell. Then they breathe together, synchronize their breathing. Inhale together, exhale together. This creates resonance. Two separate beings beginning to function as one organism. The boundaries begin to blur. You do not know where you end and the other begins. Then they touch, but not in the ordinary way. Not grabbing, not grasping, not clutching, but touching with presence, touching with awareness. Touching as if this is the first time you have ever touched a human body.